Tyler Perry is well known for juggling a lot at once: acting, writing, directing, and producing, and sometimes it seems like he's doing too much. With Straw, his latest drama that recently dropped on Netflix, Perry seems to be pouring out his stress and emotional fatigue through the lens of a broken single mom, but the result is a story that feels more exhausting than moving. There are moments that tug at your emotions, but for the most part, the film feels like it's trying way too hard and ending up a frustrating mess. Straw tells the story of Janiyah, played by the incredibly talented Taraji P. Henson. Janiyah is a single mother working two tough jobs to take care of her chronically ill daughter, Arya. Right from the start, you can feel how overwhelming Janiyah's life is. She's fired from one of her jobs, faces eviction, and even has her car taken away after a run-in with a shady off-duty cop. It's one of those days where everything goes wrong, so wrong that it pushes her over the edge and throws her into a chaotic, dangerous situation that drives the rest of the film. What Straw tries to do is show how a person can break down when life just doesn't give them a break. It's the kind of story where someone finally snaps after being pushed too far. But the problem is, the movie makes everything feel so forced and exaggerated that it stops being believable. From a visit to her daughter's school that ends with Child Protective Services getting involved, to her cruel boss who seems to enjoy seeing her suffer, it's like the whole world is out to destroy Janiyah, and it gets a bit ridiculous. Instead of building tension naturally, Straw throws one disaster after another at Janiyah, and eventually it just feels like bad writing. There's barely any subtlety. Every scene is trying too hard to make you feel sorry for her, and after a point, it's more exhausting than emotional. Even when she becomes a victim of the justice system, blamed for a robbery she actually helped stop, the plot just keeps piling on more bad luck until it becomes too much. The worst part of Straw is probably its ending. There's a plot twist that, for a second, actually hits the right emotional tone. You really feel for Janiyah and understand her breakdown. But then the movie completely ruins it by showing a fake-out vision where police storm the bank and shoot her. It's a jarring moment that doesn't fit with the tone of the film, and just when you think it's taken a dark and powerful turn, it's immediately undone by a simple calming conversation with Nicole, the bank manager. The movie removes all the tension it had managed to build, and what could have been a hard-hitting ending turns into a cheap trick. On top of all that, the movie just doesn't look good. Reportedly shot in just 4 days in Georgia, Straw looks rushed and underproduced. The locations look like real shops or offices that the team rented and didn't bother dressing up. The costumes are basic, and even a heavy rainstorm that plays a major role in the film doesn't look convincing thanks to weird lighting and a lack of atmospheric detail. It feels like the movie was slapped together instead of carefully crafted. Still, there is one thing that truly shines in Straw, and that's Taraji P. Henson's powerhouse performance. She throws herself completely into the role of Janiyah, and every scene she's in feels real and raw. There's a monologue halfway through the film where she pours out all her pain and frustration, and it's such an emotionally powerful moment that you can't help but feel moved. It's a performance worthy of awards, and it's honestly disappointing that the rest of the film doesn't rise to her level. Another standout is Sherry Shepherd as Nicole, the bank manager caught up in the chaos. Her role is much smaller, but she adds warmth and empathy to the film. She's afraid, but she also sees the pain in Janiyah's eyes and becomes one of the few people who listens to her instead of judging. Shepherd's performance helps keep the film grounded, and her chemistry with Henson adds some of the only truly human moments in the story. It's really unfortunate that such strong performances are wasted on a script and production that feel half-baked. There are moments where you can see what Perry was going for: a gritty, emotional story of a woman who just can't catch a break, but instead of feeling organic, the movie pushes everything too far. There's no nuance, and even though the film is filled with tragedy and desperation, you're left feeling drained rather than deeply affected. Straw had the potential to be something meaningful. The idea of highlighting the struggles of working-class single mothers, especially women of color, is powerful and timely. But the execution just doesn't work. The story is predictable, the characters are mostly one-dimensional, aside from Janiyah and Nicole, and the visuals are lacking. At times it feels like you're watching a stage play that was filmed without any cinematic flair or energy. And yet, Taraji P. Henson's performance is so good, it almost makes up for the film's flaws. Almost. She gives the role everything: pain, anger, confusion, resilience, and it's clear she believed in the story she was telling. You just wish the rest of the movie had been handled with the same care and intensity that she brought to the table. In the end, Straw is a movie that will divide audiences. Some may appreciate the emotional journey and raw performances, while others will be left frustrated by the over-the-top drama and lackluster execution. If you're a fan of Taraji P. Henson, it's worth watching just to see her do her thing. But don't go in expecting a well-made film, because apart from her, it's really not. The film is now streaming on Netflix, and it's likely to spark some strong reactions, especially on social media. It might not be Perry's worst film, but it's definitely not his best either. If anything, Straw is a reminder that even the strongest actors can't always save a weak script. It's a mess, but thanks to Henson, it's a mess you might still be willing to sit through.